Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most OP Jaheira build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. So Jaheira is a druid and we're going to keep her as that. Now there's two routes we can go. She is a fighter in the original Baldur's Gate 2, so it could make sense to go that route, but I think I want to keep her as a druid since she is getting a little older in age, so it does work perfectly for this. Now, early game damage, Shalala, Shillelagh, Shillelagh, whatever you want to pronounce it, there's multiple different pronunciations. This is a great one to use with a torch because it's going to give you an extra 1d4 of fire damage, and then also it does 4 to 11 bludgeoning damage using wisdom for attack rolls. So early game damage, that and Thorn Whip are great. As for our ability scores, now we're going to go with our wisdom around 16 there, and dexterity and constitution are important stats to have high as well, so we're going to go with something like that, and then we can take our extra point and put it into our dexterity, so we can have 16 dexterity, as dexterity is going to dictate our armor class, so something like this can work well. 10 strength, 16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 8 intelligence, and 16 wisdom, 10 charisma. Now we can dump intelligence because we can even add a level of wizard to give ourselves extra spells, as the land druid is a full spellcaster. So skill proficiencies, animal handling kind of sucks because you can go into your wild shape form and get benefits from that. So perception's not a bad one to go with. Nature, we'll keep it like that, and I'll be going over all the gear at the end of this video. So yeah, it's a pretty fun build. Now the land druid has some nice benefits to it. It's tanky because you get wild shape. If something goes wrong, you can just turn into an owl bear and you're safe. So subclass, we're going to go Circle of the Land, and we have the Circle of the Land armor here as well. I really like Circle of Spores and Moon Druid, but we're going to go with the Land Druid here, and we also get the ability to do Natural Recovery. Works similar to the Wizard, where we can get upwards of a level 5 spell slot back, so that means an extra Cone of Cold. And for the wild shapes, the early game Spider is great, but also Wolf and I guess the Wolf and the Spider, two of the best ones early in the game. Spider is actually quite underrated. And for our cantrip, Guidance or Resistance, I guess for the next level cantrip, but even Produce Flame, because you can produce this and throw fire at the same turn, similar to Firebolt. Now for our leveled spells, Create Water is extremely useful because we can use this to set up a Cone of Cold later on, which deals a ton of damage, upwards of 128 damage. Healing Word is a bonus action we can pick up down to allies with, really great. Long Strider's nice, but I like to go with Thunder Wave too, 2d8 damage, but we can push targets off of ledges. Fog Cloud for sneaking around at heavily obscures areas. Ice Knife's nice because you can use this well if you're silenced, you can cast this. But Long Strider is also a nice one for the extra 3 meters of movement speed, and if you use it outside of combat, it doesn't use a spell slot, so that's huge. Circle of the Land, we get to pick our first circle. Now there's a few good ones here. Like we can get some of these spells through leveling, like Spike Growth and Hold Person. So getting this for Misty Step is really nice. There's also the desert there, the forest, grassland, which gives invisibility, swamp, which gives darkness, and Melf's Acid Arrow, which we can't normally get, and the Underdark, which gives us Misty Step and Web, which I think is a great choice. So we'll go Underdark for our first Circle of the Land. And then we're going to take Hold Person, take off a Long Strider, we'll put that back on later. And we're going to take Spike Growth, because this is great crowd control. Both of these have different uses. This will allow you to get critical hits from 3 meters. This will allow you to slow enemies down. And also, Heat Metal is a nice choice, and Moonbeam. Moonbeam, you can get Sanctuary cast on you, and then you can still cast this and move it around. So, a little cheesy, but that's another way of doing this. Now, at level 4, we get ourselves a feat, which will allow us to further level up our... get further into our wisdom and get more spells prepared. The Deep Rothe form is something we can get there, but still Spider's probably a little bit better. Ability score improvement is nice. If you really want a wild shape, you can go Tavern Brawler, but it's better to do Moon Druid in that case. So for the ability score improvement, we're going to go up in wisdom. And this actually gets pretty strong later on. I'll show you guys. And for the cantrip, we'll take Poison Spray or Resistance Guidance, one of those three. And then for our extra spell slot, we're going to take ourselves the Long Strider again, but Moonbeam's another choice you can go with too. So we'll go with that there. And then at level 5, we get our extra attack and wild shape, giving us some extra tankiness too. But we also get another Circle of the Land. So we get the ability to get haste here, which is really nice. Plus 2 armor class, double air movement speed, and gain in action, which is awesome. There's also like some that'll give us 2 spells that we already get. So typically with these, you want to take the ones that you can't get spells from. So the Vampiric Touch we normally can't get. Lightning Bolt, which I think is the best choice here. So we're going to go with the Mountain because this is good. It hits in a line and you can double the damage with Create Water, making us very good damage at level 5 because you can hit Create Water before combat, and then Lightning Bolt deals upwards of 96 damage, which is great. And we also get Fly, which is somewhat useful. And for our extra prepared spells, I think Call Lightning and Plant Growth are two great choices there. Sleet Storm's good for interrupting concentration, so you can go that road too, but we'll take that at next level. Sleet Storm is really awesome because you can upset concentrations with it. Level 6 is another big power spike because we get difficult terrain, doesn't slow us down, and we can turn into an Owlbear or a Panther. Panthers are more stealthy, but the Owlbear is just good in general. It can jump around, it can become enraged, it can deal a bunch of damage. It's a great choice. And we'll take off Ice Knife, put on Sleet Storm, so that's what we're going to go with for our spells there. This build's actually quite strong because we got lots of versatility in combat. For our Circle of the Land here, we can get Ice Storm, Minor Elemental if we wanted to take that there. We can also get Firestorm, which we normally will get. There's a lot of them here which we will naturally get, so Greater Invisibility being one that we don't normally get, but Dominant Beast is not that great. So I like to just go with this to give ourselves a free Minor Elemental and Ice Storm, so that frees up our spells for something else like Woodland Being. And then we can unattach that, give ourselves This is actually a lot better than it used to be. Grasping Vine is a bonus action, it pulled targets towards it. And Firewall is another great spell, so you can go with that, although it does require concentration, and it'll destroy your plant growth, so just a little heads up on that. With Woodland Being, we don't have to use Spike Growth anymore, because this will do Spike Growth for us, so we can use that to take our Grasping Vine or Confusion. So, lots of choices. The Druid actually has a lot of spells choices. At level 8, we get another feat, so we can take another increase for our Wisdom. We'll take Confusion for our spell. And there's even merit in taking like the Warcaster for advantage on hold concentration on spells, so that's really great. And you can use a reaction to cast Shocking Grasp. We can also go with like if you want to get one of the spells from another class, but I do think Alert +5 initiative is huge, or Ability Score Improvement. Taking our Wisdom up to 20, nothing wrong with that. Wisdom is super useful, more prepared spells, more damage. And at level 9, we get ourselves the Cone of Cold, which is a big boost to our damage. I love Cone of Cold. Upwards of 64 damage, it creates icy surfaces on the ground, and you can use Create Water to double that to 128 damage. There's also, you can get Conjure Elemental, Insect, Plague. I do think that that's the best out of all of them, unless you really want Cloud Kill from there, but we can even just select Cloud Kill on another class, or even use it from the Wizard, which we can add in. So we're going to add in the Conjure Elemental. Wall of Stone is sometimes useful. Insect Plague sometimes useful, so we'll go with this here for our spells. And level 10 Druid, we get an extra attack in Wild Shape. So Wild Shape becomes a lot stronger with 3 attacks, pretty useful, and we get another level 5 spell slot. We can't be charmed or frightened by elementals or Fey, and disease or poison cannot affect us. We also get the Dilophosaurus transformation, which is nice. Another cantrip, and we can take another level 5 spell, play in our bindings. That's alright, you can turn a Celestial, Elemental, or Fey onto your team, which can be useful, especially like in the Lorokan fight. Druid level 11 is when we get ourselves our final level 6 spell slot. So, Sunbeam is a nice one. Don't go Windwalk. Heal's okay for 70 healing. This is a unique interaction with the Dark Urge. Wall of Thorns is pretty nice. Piercing damage can be doubled, so create a wall of pliable Twisting Thorns. Hero's Feast is great, but you'd rather use this on someone in camp, because you can have a camp cast this on 3 of your party members and get the benefits of it. So we're going to go with Sunbeam, because there's a lot of damage potential there, so that's a good spell slot choice. And then for our final level, we're actually not going to continue with the Druid. Adding in the Wizard seems to be the best choice here, because we can get like Mage Hand to throw water bottles for us. We can get Ray of Frost and Shocking Grasp, so this will stop targets from... This gives targets, or it gives you the ability to take away the reaction so you can run away. Minor Illusion's great too because you can group enemies together, but we're going to go with that. And for our spells, you definitely want to take Shield. That's a really big benefit of taking the Wizard. Increase armor class by 5, use the spell slot. Find Familiar is nice because we don't get that normally, and a Raven can take 1 extra hit for your team. Magic Missile is huge. Chromatic Orb, False Life, and then maybe you could have taken Long Strider here, or Witch Bolt. Witch Bolt can work okay. You can upcast it, but not something I'll really use often. Now, the nice thing is we can actually add more than just 1 spell slot there. So I'll show you how to do that, because with the helmet, or the Circlet of Intelligence, Warped Headband of Intelligence, you can get your intelligence score to 17, which allows us to go into the Wizard and prepare multiple spells. And since we're a full spellcaster, we can learn things like our Cloud Kill there, so if we wanted that, we can take it. We can take Fireball too, so we can get that as well. And whatever spells that we missed previously, it will use our intelligence modifier, so effectively 16 to cast it. Cone of Cold, Circle of Death is really nice if you have zombies on the team. You can set up and do a lot of damage with this. And Globe of Invulnerability is another nice one that you want to take, because this is a game winner later on in the game. Now, if you want to be melee, the Infernal Rapier is really great because it uses Wisdom for attack rolls. But I went with the Morning Frost because this will possibly afflict Chilled on the target, and it deals additional cold damage. And you can also use Shillelagh on this to do additional cold damage. It's really great early on in the game. I also went with the Armor of Landfall, which gives us a +1 spell save DC, and whenever we start a turn on Plant Growth or Vine Surface, we regain 1 to 4 health, and advantage on Constitution saving throw checks, which we get from the Amulet of Greater Health. So you actually can go with something like the Armor of Moonbasking, which will give us 22 temporary health points when we wild shape. So if you want to use that for extra survivability, it actually ends up being a pretty good choice there. Robe of the Weave is also a good consideration because this gives you +1 spell save DC and spell attack rolls and +2 armor class. It's a clothing option, so that's one thing to consider. You can also go with our Helldusk armor. That's always a good choice because just survivability's sake matters. Even though it doesn't feel like in theme for her to wear that, you can still go that route because it doesn't require any type of investment because it's free armor. You can even go with like the Armor of Agility too, which is great for just survivability's sake. Can't wear heavy armor, but we can wear medium armor, so that's a nice thing about that. The druids kind of get a nice niche. Ballast armor, which doesn't fit her thematically, but you can go that route too. So yeah, they got a lot of different options for armor, which makes this pretty fun. So I'm just going to dye it to kind of give her a bit of better theming. Now, with this build, what we typically want to do is we have our wild shape as a fallback. So we typically want to summon in Minor Elemental with Ice Methods, which are really useful here, so we can use them. They deal extra damage with Create Water setup, so you can have them both go and attack, and they're pretty strong overall. But we also have the Woodland Being, so we can summon this in, and it can summon in a summon too. It also gives us the resistance to poison damage, which is really nice. And it has its Fallen Lover, which you can summon in. So to even give yourself a further summon, you got multiple summons there. Really nice. And then also we get ourselves a Major Elemental, or just regular Elemental, and we can upcast it to like a Water Myrmidon. You can also add in like the Staff of Spell Power, and you can shuffle this around to everyone and get the benefits of it. Also, Staff of Cherished Necromancy can work well if you want to use the Circle of Death spell often. So with the this, we get a free casting, and we can use it to upcast like a Water Myrmidon, Fire Myrmidon. I like the air because it can stun targets. Earth Myrmidon's pretty nice too, though, and Water Myrmidon can also heal the team and apply water to the area. So if you go with this, it can heal everyone. So I guess I'll show you what combat will look like after we get through a bit more of the armor. So yeah, armor class, increase cloak and ring. I went with the Cripplord ring to give create undead level 6 spell, which is really nice. But you can also go with the I like to go with the Snowburst ring here. So the Snowburst ring will create create ice surfaces on the ground whenever you attack, and then with the Morning Frost, it works well together. Hellrider Longbow gives a +3 to initiative, so you'll get higher chance of going first. Gloves of the Bigger in Skies gives thunder damage, lightning, and radiant, 2 turns of reverberation on the target. So that's really nice. We can kind of work these all together. And then what we want to typically do with this is we want to get in there, and we can use our Water Elemental to create water on the target. So I guess this is only available in combat, but this will spray water everywhere. Other than that, we also have the ability to create water too. So we can go ahead, create water, and then what we can do is hit for a ton of damage with this. So we got Cone of Cold for a spell, and then we go with our Cone of Cold, and then hits in a huge area. I hit my Water Elemental, and then everyone slips around. We were able to take out my character really quickly there. It was hilarious. So that happened. I guess I'll pick her up just because we don't want her down. But yeah, that happened really fast. We also took out Halston in one hit too, so that just goes to show how good this is. And then also, if you have this, you may as well put on Nir's Boots to get the resistance to slipping on ice, because that was 2 spells and we were able to take out everyone. So that's really good. My Dark Urge continues to fall, or Shadowheart continues to fall. But yeah, this gets really strong because Chain Light, or that's a really powerful spell, and we get a couple of uses of it, so that's really good. And then we can also Arcane Recovery, a level 1 spell, and we can use our Natural Recovery to recover our Cone of Cold spell, so we can continually cast it. And then we also have Lightning Bolt for damage, so Create Water being like a really great choice for damage early on because you can double it, and then you can go ahead. He didn't get hit with it for whatever reason, so we'll do that again. And Create Water is super effective because then you can go with a Cone of Cold that just completely shreds through them. So 76 damage. We almost took him out in one go. Minsk is going ahead there. Revivify. Thank you, Minsk, for bringing back Halston. And then he slipped and fell. So that's the nice thing about Nier's boots with the ice surfaces. You can see we got a huge ice surface set up. We create water. Paulson Misty stepped his way out of there. And confusion. I got saved from it, thankfully. But yeah, once we get a turn to go here, this is really strong because I guess we already used our action up, but we have Misty Steps to get away, which is great. And then we also have our Grasping Vine, which we can use too. As a bonus action, it'll grab targets towards it. So then we also have our Water Myrmidon, which has Heal, which will apply water to everyone. And the Explosive Icicles, which is its best feature. You can go ahead with boom, 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 and deals a ton of damage there. So we were able to take out the Duke with that. So Water Myrmidon is really useful. Oh, took an Albert Club accidentally. But that's an OP Jaheira build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. You can see with Cone of Cold, we're able to shred down everyone. So build around that, and it'll be unstoppable. If you found this video useful, hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.